Yo, Deontay, back with Deontay's reviews. I didn't upload any videos yesterday. Yesterday was Sunday. Had church and so much was happening yesterday. So I got a lot of catch up to do with my reviews from these Country Wayne skits. So let's start here. The reviews ain't gonna be in no particular order. I'm just gonna review majority of the skits from yesterday on Sunday. And so today is Monday, June the 2nd. So where we at today? This morning at a 9:30 skit, breaking news for Atlanta. Anthony found out because Wayne told him that he's now going to be in business with Amber in the music business. My first question is, when Anthony chest gonna start hurting? Because when I tell you that man's face was getting tight, and shout out to Wayne too, because unlike Anthony, even though Wayne and Amber did what they did up until the day of the wedding, I can honestly say up until this point, Amber and Wayne have in many ways had some sort of respect for Anthony and Amber's marriage, their covenant, their whole covenant situation. They haven't, even though Wayne thought he was going to, get some a couple weeks ago in that room when Amber was in there with him. And Amber was like, what are you doing? No, we're not doing that. And there were plenty of other little times where they could have did something when they were at Wayne's house, but nothing happened. And I appreciate Wayne for keeping it real with Anthony. Say, look, I know what happened before, but I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm doing business with your wife, your ex-wife, soon-to-be ex-wife, however you want to refer to her. But I'm just keeping it real with you, And he asked him several times, like, you feel some kind of way about it? Be real. If you do, you do. Just tell me, and I'll get out. He even offered to stop doing the business with her, the music business, if it was going to bother Anthony. And see, the problem I had with Anthony is that ain't no real man, because you genuinely do have a problem with it. Because the reality is, every time you go to counseling, every time you talk to people about Amber, about your marriage, you still hanging on to this excuse that because she slept with Wayne, you turned out the way that you turned out and you're doing what you're doing. But yet, when the very person that you blaming for your situation now in your marriage, now you telling him that you fine with it, that you fine with him being in business with your wife, soon-to-be ex-wife. But the reality is you go around town telling therapists and telling all these people that it's because of her and Wayne that you became the person that you became. Like, make up your mind. Stand on whatever it is you believe, even if it's not accurate, because it ain't accurate, because you was messing with Shayla before you even found out about her, Amber and Wayne. Okay? And let's be real. Shayla was the one that came after him, right? But even though he was drunk and vulnerable in that one night, after that, after he realized what happened, he still made decisions, continuous decisions, to keep it going with Shayla. So yeah, so even though he didn't initiate the whole thing, and even though he was vulnerable and drunk, inebriated and all that stuff, but he kept it going. Like, he kept the affair going. He still wanted more. He couldn't contain himself. He didn't have no discipline, okay, to say enough is enough. But when he did have the discipline to say enough is enough, Shayla had to pull that one card. She pulled that one card because she knew she was about to lose Anthony. And so she had to tell him that Amber and Wayne was messing around up until the morning of the wedding, right? And so when Shayla did that, she only did it not because she cared that much, but because she wanted to get Anthony locked in, and she knew that once Anthony found that out, if she told Anthony, she knew that her likelihood of still being able to mess with Anthony, potentially get pregnant, if that was really her intent. I don't think Shayla wanted to get pregnant, but she ended up getting pregnant because she knew it was a bag. She knew it was going to be for sure a bag for at least 18 years, But back to the whole thing with Anthony and Wayne. Wayne walked away thinking, all right, cool, I done said it. But then as soon as Wayne turned his back, Anthony making these little nasty faces I'm like, dude, you brought that on yourself. Be honest, be a man. This is what I'm saying. Anthony needs some kind of male mentor figure in his life to say, look, even if you do feel some kind of way about it, stand on it. Be honest. Anthony is not an honest person. Like, he's so manipulative, calculating, just like Shayla. And like I said before, him and Shayla deserve each other. So I'm wondering now that Anthony knows that information about Amber and Wayne going into the music business together, I wonder how, if they continue to go to counseling, how is that going to impact their counseling sessions? Which is still ridiculous to me why they're going to counseling, because you only go to counseling when you want to repair something, and neither one of them want to repair anything. But, you know, that's, I don't know. But let me know in the chat, do you think that Anthony's going to use that information to continue to use it as an excuse as to why he's still going on with Shayla? Can he use that in any good and rightful way to his advantage in the divorce proceedings? Was it a smart move for Amber to go in business with Wayne, knowing she's going through the divorce and knowing that Anthony uses what happened between her and Wayne as an excuse for the divorce and all this other kind of stuff? Let me know in the comments. Hit like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And let's keep it going. Let's figure out what's going on with these Country Wayne skits. Y'all be good.